Greetings from Nairobi. We have come to the conclusion of the Cynesa Summit 2017. We had participants from 6 countries, 6 chapters of the Cynesa network, from Zambia, Tanzania, Zimbabwe, Rwanda, South Africa, and hosts Kenya. The theme of this year's summit was Laudato Si, Youth and Wildlife Conservation in Africa, and the summit was held as part of a project that Cynesa is doing with partnership with the Humane Society International, realizing how young people in Africa can become empowered and engaged in conservation of wildlife. This theme was chosen as a follow-up to the resolution of the Convention on International Trade in Endangered Species about empowering young people in wildlife conservation and how to engage them, as inspired by the encyclical Laudato Si, in which our Holy Father invites young people to care for all of creation and to care for our common home. 2 years ago, in 2015, when Pope Francis visited Nairobi, he spoke at the United Nations offices, where he reiterated the need for international community to combat the illegal trade in ivory and the relative killing of elephants and other species that are lost due to human interference. This summit has been able to realize different outcomes. We have had the possibility to work in different groups from East and Southern Africa, where delegates were able to come up with plans of how they will involve young people in their parishes, in their communities, in their countries, around issues of wildlife conservation, but more generally around caring for creation as they live Laudato Si. They've also been able to make plans about how they will be able to manage the Cynesa chapters in their countries. They had input from different professionals in management and finance, and this follows into our strategic plan which we have prepared that takes us up to the year 2025. And we look forward to working with these young people in growing the network, but also in strengthening the chapters where we already have Cynesa existing. We're looking forward to the next summit, hopefully in 2 years' time. But at the moment, our delegates are participating now in the United Nations Environment Assembly, which starts on the 27th of November and ends on the 6th of December. The theme of the United Nations Environment Assembly, as was explained by the representative from the United Nations Environment Programme, is on pollution, and we will be looking at how our communities are impacted by pollution, how we can contribute as young people towards beating pollution, and how then we can be able to create a better common home for all of us that is pollution-free. We received 2 key messages from 2 important chief guests. The first one, the Honorable Chris Wamalwa, who is the chairperson of the Catholic Members of Parliament in Kenya. He encouraged us as young people to continue working towards caring for the environment in our different countries here in Africa, but also to continue our advocacy work as invited by Pope Francis in the encyclical Laudato Si, in which Pope Francis reminds us that young people demand change and that they wonder how anyone can claim to be building a better world without caring for the environment and the sufferings of the excluded. The Apostolic Nuncio to Kenya and South Sudan, Archbishop Charles Balvo, who was the chief guest at the closing ceremony, as well recalled these important words of the Holy Father and continued to encourage us as young people to continue working towards caring for our common home and to redouble our efforts and to encourage even more young people to join the network so that we can increase the awareness but also increase the output of the advocacy that we are doing in caring for our common home. And these efforts will be replicated at the United Nations Environment Assembly, where we'll have the opportunity to expose our colleagues and our team to environmental policy making at the highest international level, and also to be able to have opportunities for networking, but also to put forward our voices as young people of faith who are caring for creation. We will keep you posted about the activities that are going on at the UN Environment Assembly, and we look forward to sharing more through our newsletters and our social media pages. Greetings from Nairobi, and thank you all for those who supported the Cynesa Summit 2017. We look forward to bringing more news about what Cynesa is doing. Thank you.